Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of the Topping Show is proudly sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency IT security. Heck, I see your founder at least twice a day. Guy says he's quite handsome and brilliant. Tease me, see that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or a business owner, reach out to the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also, still giving away a free flamethrower with every IT purchase with Picatinny rail adapters to mount to any standard AR-15 like all awesome accessories can be. Go to toppingtechnologies.com and click the flamethrower button to learn more and see me shooting a flamethrower. And lastly, trying to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button and tell your friends and your enemies, I would greatly appreciate it. Now, going over to the business part of the podcast, you have Toyota making more engine blocks for their iconic vehicles. Now, it's brought to us thanks to Motor1.com. And specifically, writer over at, again, Motor1.com, credited to Chris Perkins, says, quote, Toyota is making new parts for its most beloved four-cylinder engine. Which, there's something iconic about seeing that. It says, Toyota Gazoo Racing created a modernized block and heads for the iconic AE86. There you can see engine block, 4 cylinders of glory. Great Honda Civic Si or Toyota vehicle. Obviously not one of the luxury brands that's trying to go out there, but nevertheless, yeah, it does have its place. Now, Chris says, quote, Toyota's 4AGE 4-cylinder is a legend. It's a twin-cam, 4-valve, 1.6-liter engine found home in many of Toyota's best performance cars of the 1980s. The AE86 Corolla and AW11 MR2 being the most notable, which, another lost opportunity. Toyota MR2s, rear engine, stick shift option, fun little sports car. For a while, they were worth like a couple $1,000s. The market kind of crashed. And now, of course, like a lot of things, given enough time, became a collectible. And now, geez Louise, it costs more than my Honda Civic. So I don't know if I'll get one anytime soon. But yeah, the MR2, one of the coolest Toyota cars ever. They say Toyota Gazoo Racing, which offers reproduction parts for many of its classic Toyota models, just announced it's making new blocks and heads for the A86 Corolla 11 and Sprinter Torino. What's interesting here is that Toyota is not simply making new parts. Gazoo Racing redesigned these parts to take advantage of advances in modern design and production techniques. The head has additional machining for the combustion chambers, which Toyota says helps improve consistency from part to part. Toyota also polishes the intake ports to make the surfaces as smooth as possible. It also gets thicker walls for intake and exhaust ports. And Toyota redesigned the head to enable in traverse configurations like front-wheel drive, Corollas, and Carinas. And then they say in parentheses, though Toyota didn't say it'd work in the MR2. Here you can see some close-ups of those engines there, which that just looks beautiful. They say for the block, Toyota uses a new cast iron alloy to improve rigidity and uses a new honing process for the cylinder bores. Toyota also redesigned the crankshaft caps to up durability. Toyota hasn't announced pricing yet, but given the level of work put into these parts and the complexity of manufacturing such intricate pieces in relatively low numbers, they won't be cheap. If you prefer a perfect 4AGE, this is the way to go, however. Which, roll down here, I can see one in the actual engine bay. Again, looks awesome. Toyota offers GR Heritage parts for the 2000 GT, which, again, was one of the most beautiful cars of all time. It was actually in one of the James Bond films decades ago. I mean, it's very rare to see them ever face to face. I have once at a car show, and I mean, it's just mouth-watering beautiful. Again, the Toyota 2000 GT. They also say the GR Heritage team also makes parts of the MK4, MK3 Supra, the E86 plus 40, 60, 70, 80 series Land Cruisers. A lot of the parts are seemingly insignificant gauges, hoses, gasket, trim pieces. But if you ever read the words no longer available when searching for car parts, you know how useful components like this can be. Yes, and how collectible they can be. I have a friend who actually works on Mark IV Supras. And yeah, some of those pieces that are no longer in production, it's almost like finding the Ark of the Covenant. I mean, you hear stories, and my buddy actually told me one time, he had a friend in Indiana, in a Toyota dealership's warehouse of the parts department, in a little corner with a copious amount of dust, where the factory plastic window trim pieces for the outside for the rain deflection, and he could have sold them for like thousands of dollars. That's how valuable those little pieces of plastic have become. But of course, he's a gearhead, so he actually put them on his baby, his Mark IV Supra. It looks really cool, and if you're a true diehard enthusiast, you'll see that it's actually a factory OEM part. And yeah, some of those things are becoming like unobtainium. Get some larger pictures here on the screen here. Looks, yeah, the amount of machining and effort they're putting into these parts is amazingly impressive. And they say the 4A GE head and block are the largest, most complex GR Heritage parts offerings yet. Toyota does not sell GR Heritage parts in the US too, though it hasn't announced when when we will get the cylinder head and block here, which presumably pretty soon. The United States is one of the largest, most important markets for automobiles, especially for collectible ones and gearheads, this whole community in the United States. And again, Toyota has a huge presence in the United States, one of the largest markets. So if I were a gambling man, very similar to, I believe, Nissan had this similar announcement, as well as Honda. No, Honda did about 4 or 5 months ago for their 1990s models. I think they're going to follow suit. They also say that Toyota will reveal these parts to the public on the 30th anniversary celebration of the initial D at Fuji Speedway for Japan at least. Toyota plans to put these on sale next May, but only if there's significant demand, sufficient demand. So deep-pocketed AA86 owners, you know what to do, which, yeah, is going to cost a pretty penny. But again, you see a lot of these Japanese companies starting to follow in parallel and in the tracks, pun mildly intended, of other companies like Porsche, where they will maintain these cars for decades, especially the collectible ones, the ones that have a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of there's a real community around these cars, like the Porsche Carrera GT. I mean, that thing has been out of production for decades, but they worked with Michelin to engineer new tires for the vehicle, and they did a couple new parts for it. And again, it's a great way to appeal to your VIP clients, kind of shows a company that you're going to really actually offer these products long term, which is becoming more and more rare. I mean, good luck maintaining a Ford, 20 years in the future. Well, I mean, I was about to say maybe 20 minutes given their 110 recalls this year, but nevertheless, very cool news from Toyota. And I think this is just going to bring more enthusiasm for the brand. And yeah, we'll see. Maybe this is out in Japan first, and the first couple on eBay shipped to the United States for gobbles of cash, but I think it's still pretty cool. Let me know your thoughts, though, because as always, it'd be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so you can click that button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, and a comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, anyone, everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.